Hello and thank you. I want to first of all thank you for the warm and kind welcome. I would have to say, je suis désolée, je ne parle pas français très bien, so I'm going to provide it in English today. But now that I have arrived in Canada, I think one of my goals is that perhaps next time I come to visit you, I will be able to speak more French when we give the discussions. So I want to thank you for joining us today and to talk to you a bit about the DIACC. The DIACC was formed in 2012 out of a payment review task force that was looking at all of the electronic payments and how they would need to evolve for digital identity, for digital transformation. Out of the payments task force, there was a realization that digital identity is actually much, much more than payments alone. It is critical for healthcare, it is critical for government services, delivery of entitlements. And there was a movement to create an organization that could bring together Canadian organizations from the public and private sector to address the challenges of the digital transformation, and particularly those that are related to digital identity. There have been some estimates that the personal identity market may be as large as $13 billion USD by 2020. So this is quite a large market. Additionally, the World Economic Forum has recently published a paper called The Blueprint for Digital Identity. If you have not seen this paper, I highly recommend that you would read it. It gives a breakdown of the importance of digital identity in the economic sector, and also some of the complexities and challenges with regard to business models of how to implement digital identity solutions. And what we do in the DIACC is we work to take this complex space and bring simplicity. And we do so by collaborating across with our members from the public and the private sector. And I would agree that I wish to get things done, and I would say Notarius is also in that group. All of our members are focused on moving the space forward to create an ecosystem of digital identity solutions that Canadians can use with confidence and trust, and specifically for the value of the services that are provided by government and businesses to Canadian consumers and citizens. In the DIACC, we have 3 pillars that we use in terms of how we will advance digital identity standardization and bring services of trust to Canadians all across the country. The 3 pillars are focused on, first, the digital transformation. In order to deliver services of value and solutions of value to consumers and citizens, and in order to mitigate risks and bring security to those services, it is critical to have a framework of business, legal, and policy practices for interoperability. In the DIACC, we have a liaison with the Joint Councils of Canada, which is made up of all of the public sector CIOs from all of the provinces, as well as the public sector service delivery leads. And we work together to build the Pan-Canadian Trust Framework. The Pan-Canadian Trust Framework sets the baseline of business, legal, and technical practices that will enable innovation to flow. It will connect Canadian businesses and orders of government, citizens and consumers, and enable innovations to flow at a high speed with trust. Now, we've heard about the digital transformation. We know how important this is. However, a recent survey done by SAP found that only 16% of those enterprises who were surveyed actually had been thinking about the digital transformation. Of those 16%, only 6% had reported that they have developed a digital transformation strategy. So we feel it's critically important that the members of the DIACC, working together with the public and private sector, develop this framework so that Canadian businesses and consumers and citizens can interoperate and have a world-class economy that participates in the global digital economy. And those organizations who are not preparing for the digital transformation and who are not thinking about these issues are possible to lose opportunities, both in Canada and in the global digital economy marketplace. Our second pillar, after the digital transformation, is to focus on the development of ID services, solutions, and innovations. In the DIACC, to focus on innovations, we develop three main types of work. Innovation white papers that take a forward-looking or past-looking perspective on ID solutions. Second, we develop proofs of concept that bring together the public and private sector to test concepts for viability. They result in industry reports and sometimes a demonstration. And finally, applied research opportunities. In the DIACC, we work not only to connect the opportunities within Canada, but we also connect opportunities with global challenges and global business development opportunities. In the third pillar, we work to bring market accelerating education across Canada. And we leverage the deliverables of the digital transformation and ID services innovation to inform decision makers from business, legal, and technical audiences. We feel this market education is a critical component, and that's why we're so happy to speak with you today as well. So this concept of a trust framework, a pan-Canadian trust framework for interoperability, is not only something that's being developed within Canada. I can tell you that also it's being developed in Europe with the eIDAS, digital signature, and I think we've heard a little bit about that already. Similar frameworks are being built in the UK, in the United States, and across the world. So this is not only a Canadian challenge, this is a global challenge. And what we work to do in the DIACC in terms of that market education is to connect those conversations globally so we can bring solutions to our constituents, but also participate in the global digital economy. So the concept of the digital single market arises in Europe, and we wish to be able to interoperate with that digital single market and grow the Canadian GDP, all while delivering services that Canadians can trust. So the DIACC objective is to connect leadership of the public and private sector to build the Pan-Canadian Trust Framework as the baseline for policy, business, and technical interoperability, to drive forward innovative solutions, white papers, proofs of concept, and applied research, and to accelerate the market through education. And we're proud to work with leaders from organizations like Notarius, Desjardins, major financial institutions, telco operators within Canada, and we're also proud to have membership from outside of Canada as well, and to connect these conversations in a global aspect. So I invite any of you who wish to learn more about the DIACC, if you are consuming digital identity services, or if you wish to offer digital identity services, I encourage you to speak with me, and please learn more and consider joining our community. Thank you.